Chapter 12. Lamech and Seth. Genesis 4, 16 to 26. And Cain went out from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife, and she conceived, and they bare Enoch, and he builded a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son Enoch. And unto Enoch was born Irad, and Irad begat Mehujael, and Mehujael begat Methusael, and Methusael begat Lamech, and Lamech took unto him 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other Zillah. And Ada bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as of cattle. And his brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all such as handle the harp and organ. And Zillah, she also bare Tubal-Cain, an instructor of every artificer in brass and iron, and the sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. And Lamech said unto his wives Ada and Zillah, Hear my voice, ye wives of Lamech, hearken unto my speech, for I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt. If Cain shall be avenged 7-fold, truly Lamech 70 and 7-fold. And Adam knew his wife again, and she bare a son, and he called his name Seth, for God, said she, hath appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. And to Seth, to him also there was born a son, and he called his name Enos. Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord. Genesis 4, 16 to 26. The question raised by many concerning this text is about Cain's wife. Who was she, and where did she come from? The answer is that, in that era and for centuries later, marriages in incestuous degrees did not have the very serious genetic consequences which now prevail. Both Adam and Eve had within them all the genetic potentialities for all mankind, so that marriage within the family did not have the clear dangers that now prevail. One can perhaps say that the genetic character of the 2 Danes, or 2 poles, is more homogeneous than that of 2 members of the line of Adam in the early centuries and long thereafter. Quote, Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, verse 16. According to H.C. Leopold, this expression is similar to Cain's complaint in verse 11 that he is, quote, driven forth from the ground, end quote. Man is an alien on the earth when he is alien to God. No place can give him true shelter. He went eastward seeking refuge in, quote, the land of Nod, end quote, the land of wandering, verse 16. He, quote, knew his wife, end quote, and she gave birth to Enoch, meaning dedication, a good name, but for Cain, it no doubt meant dedication to his anti-God faith, his will to be his own God. He also built the first quote-unquote city. A city here means a walled area, and for most of history a city has been so defined. As such, it was a place of safety. For Cain, it was an attempt to wall out his conscience and guilt, since God had marked him for protection. Cain felt, quote, driven out, end quote, and hounded, and so he built a walled city to protect himself. He called the city, like his firstborn son, Enoch, meaning again dedication. Cain's life was now dedicated to self-protection and survival. Guilty men forever feel hunted and persecuted. We are then given the names of those in the line of Adam through Cain, and Lamech is the 7th in the line. After Lamech, we have Jabal, the father of cattlemen. Prior to him, men kept cattle, but Jabal did so exclusively. Jubal, his brother, became the father of musicians, in particular of those who played the harp and organ. The organ later became a temple instrument, as did the harp. Tubal-Cain became the teacher of all workers in brass and iron. A sister is mentioned, Naamah, meaning pleasant. We are told these things to remind us that evil people are not thereby lacking in talent. In verse 23 and 24, we have the song of Lamech, called by some the song of the sword, a song of vengeance. In verse 15, God, having given his protection to Cain, says of anyone who kills Cain, quote, "Vengeance shall be taken upon him sevenfold," end quote. Now, man's original sin is to try to be his own God. For Lamech, this means surpassing God. Quote, "If Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold." Verse 24. The contempt for God is obvious. Lamech boasts of his ability to outdo God in exacting vengeance. Lamech boasts of his ability to exact vengeance, quote, "For I have slain a man to my wounding, and a young man to my hurt." Verse 23. We are not told whether or not one or two killings are indicated, but, given the parallelism of such writing, it perhaps refers to one killing. James Moffat paraphrased it to refer to two killings. Quote, "The man who wounds me, him I slay a boy for a blow." End quote. In any case, Lamech brags that he is more dangerous than God. In effect, knowing the reality of God, Lamech was defying God to do his worst. For Lamech, God's law was a trifle, and Lamech's will the hard reality. God declares through Moses, quote, "To me belongeth vengeance and recompense, their foot shall slide in due time, for the day of their calamity is at hand, and the things that shall come upon them make haste." Deuteronomy 32:35. St. Paul tells us, quote, "Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, Vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord." Romans 12:19. Quote, "Give place unto wrath," end quote, probably means, quote, "Let the wrath of God have its way," as James Moffat renders it. In brief, God declares that he, in his justice, brings vengeance or recompense to all sinners. If we take the law into our hands, we deny God and affirm ourselves. We declare that our idea of justice is better than God's. Men often exact such an evil justice in the name of God, as have some murderers or abortionists in 1994. We cannot break God's law in the name of God. In verses 25 and 26, we are told of Seth's birth as Cain's replacement as the firstborn. Seth means foundation. He was to be their hope in God, the foundation of a godly and, in time, messianic seed. Many other sons and daughters were born to Adam and Eve, Genesis 5:3-5. At this point, a clarification is necessary. Cain had called his first son Enoch or Chanok, quote, dedication, end quote. Seth's son's name in English is again Enoch, but in the Hebrew Enosh, meaning, quote, the frail one, end quote, or, quote, the mortal, end quote. Seth recognized the frailty of man's life. The line of Cain very early excelled in some of the arts, perhaps because their hope was so intensely dedicated to the city of man. We are told, as against this, that in Seth's day, quote, "Then began men to call upon the name of the Lord," verse 26. If we take this clause in a narrow and modern sense, we will see it as meaning simply that men then began to worship God. The name of God means his nature and being. It can mean that they began to think seriously of the creation mandate to exercise dominion and to make this world the kingdom of God. It would thus mean that the dominion mandate again governed the line of Adam.